Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Tag Tuesday. I was like trying to figure out what I was going to do today, what type of tags or, type thing. I thought, I it's hard for me because I want to make videos that not only use digitals, but and those that may not have digitals. But I use a lot of digitals. I'm trying my best to do some without digitals as well. But what I thought today we would do is I've been cleaning up a lot of tags I printed that I'm not using. I have video of it. I'll put it in, I'll tag it down below. And I've been cleaning up tags that a year, 2 years ago I printed, but my style has changed or whatever. So I've been trying to reface those and put them aside. Now, some of you may have something like this. This is all, packaging and different things and advertisements. So I thought what we'd do is I pulled out, like we all get these flyers. I actually took an After 8 box. I kept the bottom box I use it to store things in it. Things like that. So I thought, I don't hope that sun isn't putting too much of a glare on it. Unfortunately, well, I think it's got a shadow. Another advertisement. This is from when you buy paper. So I figured I'd glue it in half, but it more or less makes a journal card. So it's not really for Tag Tuesday. Again, I did the same thing. It could be a fatter thing, but I want to save those for. And then, of course, we all buy stickers, right? And this is, I don't remember what this package came out of, but I thought once I take this edge off, it's a good size for a card. And then I was making thank you cards, and I made a mistake here, and I almost threw them in the recycle, and I thought, well, I can cover that and make a tag. So I just pulled out some things out of here. Like I have different, no, I don't know why those because I'm not covering those teas up. I don't know why they're in that box. Probably because I didn't know where to put them, so I put them. I have things like this where at one time, I don't know why I was trying, but to make a big fat tag, it's got like I think I made a mistake, and then I don't know what I did. So, I mean, different things that we can use. I'm going to probably cover this and put this in I was thinking in a journal as a flip somehow. I don't know yet. But, go through your things. You could use scrapbooking paper too. But things, different cardboards, things like that, from, another good thing is, cereal boxes. Now I saved this because I was going to try, I kind of made it in the shape of a journal with thing because I was going to try to make a small journal this size, and it just stayed in there. But things like Girl Guide cookie boxes. I mean, even this, if I cut here, this would be a nice size tag, maybe cut in half, and then some tags out of this. So, look through, upcycle things. You never know. Like I save these. I have a ton of these. When I go to Tim Hortons, I save all these to make pockets. I cover them and make pockets. So like lots of different things in your thing. I sell Scentsy. So I have this packaging. So I've been saving it, So pull out some of your packaging and use it to make your tags. So I pulled out a few different pieces. I'll put my junk things. And then what I did is I tried to think of things. I pulled out some of my digitals, but some of them are scraps, some of them are not. Some I made an error in the printing. I didn't realize I put this in and then I printed something else. So I have that scrap and different scraps. I have dictionary page. I have I think it's German book page. I grabbed another French book page and I grabbed a music page. The reason I didn't grab a lot of music is because I have a lot mass made. Maybe I don't. I have to do some because I've been recovering. So that project sits on my desk, and then every once in a while when sometimes, you know, I'm working on a journal and my creative flow isn't really flowing, then I pull that out because I'm just, excuse me, that's terrible. And I'm not liking, trying to figure out, I'm going to just stand up for a second, see how bad the shadow is. Not much I can do other than move this more into the sun. I'm just trying to see if I just slide over for today. Usually I center it on the desk, but because of that bright sun, it's a little difficult. Yeah, if I do that. And I don't know if I do that, it makes it, I might have to cover the window. That is the hard part. What would I cover the window with? It's just the way because I'm in a basement, right? So it's a little harder. I'm going to just try something really quick, guys. Sorry. Because I think I'm getting too much of a dark shadow versus... Okay, we'll try to leave it like that. That's a bit better, I think, guys. Sorry about that. We'll try that. I think that works better. So, and also what I thought I might do is I did a swap in a group, and I'm a little behind. We did it was an amazing. I want to do one of these swaps too in my group. We did, it's called a scrap bag. And so you take and you put together a bag with all kinds of different elements in it. And I got these, so we're supposed to make something from it. But I don't know if I'm that organized to do. But different things were sent. This one's open, so. So in it, she sent me like book pages, ribbon, doily, guest check, and then I never ever thought about felt, guys, so I'm gonna have to go get myself some felt. That'd be even great in clusters. So she sent me different papers, cardstock, beautiful textured paper, to create something with. I love it. So I might pull something out of that near the end. We'll see. I'm just going to put it to the side right now. And you might have, I just got these. Someone gifted them to me. A friend's mother. She got rid of all her things that weren't stamping up. So even these would be perfect for making tags with. So, you know, pull out what you have. If you have maybe thinner scrapbooking paper. Only thing handy right now to me is my thicker stuff. And really and truly, I'm going to pull this over a little. Sorry, guys. I can't see the top of the camera because I noticed yesterday's video was a little fuzzy, and I think it was too close to the table. So I've lifted it up. So let's get started. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to leave this one this size, and I'm going to leave it as a round corner, because sometimes I like a really big tag. So I want to, and I'm going to yawn, and I apologize. Now this one's very thin, so I could have used a card, like this is made out of cardstock, but if I want to thicken it up, but nothing says they have to be super hard. It doesn't have to be that way. Where did I put all that paper a few minutes ago? Oh, see, this is how my brain works sometimes. And you can pull out your scraps and you can collage. My scrap box is handy beside me. So if I want to do some collaging, I can pull that out. So you use what you have. And in this case, I really want it to, I'm going to start with the digital and I'll move into a book page, or because I want it to use this up that's already kind of collaged. It makes it nice and simple to use. I could pull out my tear ruler. I can't even talk today. So we're going to do this. And as I'm cutting this, I'm thinking, how would I decorate? What would I put on top of this? Because you know what? Sometimes the paper itself is so pretty that you don't always necessarily need to put more on it. But what I could do, I couldn't do it right now because I didn't get that ready. But if I didn't want to really put maybe a visual, like a actual die cut or a fussy cut, I could pull out a stencil and do something like this on it and just add a little something to it if I didn't want to do that, and just leave it that way. It all just, you do what you want with them. And I sometimes, when I'm doing my Tag Tuesday, I have several journals on the go. So, of course, I pulled out paper. Plus, I have these pockets I'm working on. I did a nice purple one. I have to remember who this is for. And I'll remember it. And if I remember it, I'll put a thing. But it was, and I filled it up with all kinds of beautiful purple. And I started a pink one, a couple pink ones I'm sending as Happy Mail. But it's just a simple book page pocket. And so I have those that I'm trying to fill up, and I want to put them in my store to sell. So you can buy a loaded pocket full of stuff and you can use it in a journal type thing. So I'm thinking of what I want to put in that. So I'm just going to put glue on here. I need more glue sticks, but my favorite glue stick, which is, I don't know about you guys, and I've said this several times in my videos, I'm just astonished at the price of glue sticks right now. It used to be inexpensive, $1, $2. Even my Pritt I used to get for, when it first came in at back to school, it'd be $1.99, and then they put it on sale for 99 cents. And then a lot of mine originally I bought on clearance for 50 cents. And I used all those up, and I thought to myself, when I bought them, I thought, oh, next year I'll get more. I have enough for now. Well, they didn't bring it back anymore. And now if I buy one of these on Amazon, it's $8.97 for one. It just throws me every time. Sometimes what I do, instead of cutting, because I find it faster, just to tear it. Right, and then I can trim it up closer with my scissors. Which I need to clean because they're not cutting well because too much glue on them. I think, is there a way to get the glue off? I wonder if vinegar, if I put vinegar on a paper towel, if that would help it at all. Because I find just straight water doesn't really dissolve that glue really well. And the only thing I forgot to bring over, when I was doing my supplies, I didn't think about it because I don't always think of my corner rounder because I sometimes just like a rounded corner tag. And I've been breaking out of my mold lately and doing different types of tags. One day I might just do a day of just tags, like, I'll just sit and make tags. Because I do some new type of tags too that, aren't the general angled tags. I think I only have one with Christmas here. And I don't have one in there. Because I'm doing Merry Monday, so I now keep Christmas on my desk. I haven't been because I did something special for January. So I just basically, there's no clip. I just, you know, there's different ways, and I don't have one, unfortunately. I'll show it later. So there we go. And I hope that, because the way that line is, it makes it look like it's not straight. But it could be just because of, I worry about that a lot sometimes. And then, of course, we got to cover the back. I know many of you don't have printers, and you can use your tea dye, but I am behind in dyeing. I have to take a day soon and do some tea dyeing because I'm almost out of tea dyed paper. So I'm saving what pieces I have right now for my journals to put in my signatures. So I just printed off something I found free online. I have to empty my garbage can because it's crazy. I was away and everything kind of got left. I go ahead and do my front and back before I start doing the smaller embellishments. This is a big tag, so it might not be as... Sometimes I find them the hardest sometimes to decorate, because making all the pieces of it kind of flow together is not always easy. And I'm having an event coming up, and I'm doing it mainly, I do it for Junk Journal Craft Chat. It's a group that I run. The lady that started the group and then built the group decided she wanted to kind of retire basically from it and just be able to focus. She was having a big move coming up and all that, and she just felt like it was taking too much time, so she let me take it over. So in it, we're doing a cluster event. You're more than welcome to come and join us. It will be linked down below and you're welcome to come join us at Junk Journal Craft and Chat. The event is, I called it Let's Cluster. Basically, it's going to be a lot of different, I'm saying February, but it might go into March because I was away for the beginning of February. I went home for, as many of you already know, for a family funeral, a sudden death in our family of one of my younger, she's actually probably the youngest cousin I have. I was almost 16 when she was born, but we were close. So she passed away suddenly, so I went home for that, and as I've said before, the ticket, and I decided to stay and, spend some time with my family because of, of what happened, not take for granted the special time we can share with our family. So there we go. It's covered front and back, and I like to distress, so I just think it adds to it. My big one, I need to buy replacement ones of these for my big ones, so I'm using one of my small ones for now. I did a silly thing. I thought, I only brought one away with me, and I wanted to color something, and I colored it pink. And I thought if I just use one part of my brown, and I ruined it. So I need a new replacement pads for it because it needed it anyways. It was pretty worn down. So there we go. That side is done. Sometimes I'll even stress a little bit, especially with this. It adds sometimes some character. My favorite one a lot I use is the walnut, but I keep refilling this thing, but even if I keep refilling it, it's just so dried out now. that I need to replace it. And Amazon is out of stock with it right now, and Michael's doesn't carry Tim Holtz products anymore here in Canada. So I can only get it on Amazon Canada. And unfortunately, we're very limited. Like, I'm wanting the Lumberjack, one that came, Lumberjack Plaid, I think it was called. Came out Christmas, beautiful red. But so I'm waiting to save up to buy it from scrapbook.com, and I'm going to buy everything it comes in. So I think it's about $40 on scrapbook.com US, so that for Canadian, that would probably run me roughly around $55, $60 to bring, plus shipping, and I pay international shipping. Okay, so there is that. So now to decorate one. This one is a little more difficult, I find, because you kind of think, so I was thinking, oh, I put the box down too far. I should have put it down and under. Did I leave some of them in here? This might, I don't know if I want to trim that up. That's too long. That pail you've probably just seen a glimpse of is all the papers and colors I'm using in about 4 journals I have going on. So I just keep them all in that bin, and then I keep some of the, I'm just seeing what I could put on this. Just a little light. But I was thinking something like this. Could do that. I think she's the one I'm going with so far. Ooh. I like the length of this, though. That's the problem. I like this photo, but I like the length of that one. Kind of liking her. And I'm keeping this pretty simple. What I figure I'm going to do is do that. And then I thought, oops, that's a pocket. Maybe I'll just put that. But I got to trim this up a bit better. I see the white. There we go. Throw my scrap over there. She's not bad there, but she'll be better if she's inked, of course. If I wanted to, maybe corner around her. I need to get a new one of these because it's starting to get dull. Sometimes when you use the thin paper, sometimes it's a little harder, so I'm going to use this tag. But if you get a piece of cardboard or scrapbook paper that's a little firmer and you just put it under, it helps with the inking of it. Because it just gives it's easier and you don't end up ripping your image. Because well, for a while, sometimes I do put these directly on cardstock, but I ran out of cardstock for a while and I didn't have a ride to Michael's. And so I went, I think, a month without it till I finally could get a ride to Michael's because it's not super close to where I am. So some of it just went on photocopy paper. You ever, sometimes what you can't, if you, what I do is sometimes when I'm not sure about something and I'm trying to think about it, I'll just put a paper clip on it. I usually stand it up and I'll just look at it for a few minutes and work on just to, you know, in my brain, settle with it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to trim off the edge where I tore that. This is that thank you card. And of course, whatever paper I use on this, I'm going to have to make sure it's dark enough to cover my writing on it. It technically, this is where I could use, I'm going to do maybe a little collaging. I think I'm going to do some, did I bring script paper? Not really. Do I have a piece of script in my scrap box here? One of my scrap boxes that I still got to sort through. And put it in its envelopes. But for now, why don't we pull something? If we have it. Just pull that up because I might end up using that. Normally I have a ton of script. And yes, I print it off. If you don't have a printer, you could, and you have a script set stamp. I've only got a tiny, tiny one. I need to get a larger one. If I put it somewhere, where would I have put it? Because normally I have tons of it printed off, but except for right now when I want it, I don't have any, because that's usually the way things go for me. Let me check in this box really quickly. Oh, here. This is part of one of my, I found an old calligraphy book, and I think this might work nicely. For now, is that long enough? Go that way. Let's try that. Let's just take the ruler, which I've lost now, and everything. There we go. And again, this isn't going to be quite long enough, but I'm not worried about that. In this case, I might go up a little. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this, just so I can see them. Okay, and I'm going to put this here. Okay, so my computer just stopped and it went quiet. I know some ladies don't seem to think as much as I do when I'm making these. It's got way more script than I wanted it. I wanted it to be more green. Maybe I ripped too much of that green off. Sometimes what I do, see, I folded it over, going up. Fold that over. Not like that. And I'm going to put a little something down here. But if I put a little music page, or maybe a little something of a color. What I'm going to do is, everything's spilling over here. I'm resting it on a little piece of paper, little section here. Let me put it right here. Now you can add lace to all these as well. I just didn't do that right now. This one I have the choice on either side of what I can do. As you can see, I punched some hearts out because I think I was punching. I don't waste my mistakes. I use it in other ways. But I'm just thinking. Since I'm cleaning this up, I'm going to save that and have that ready. This is just how I get it looks better. Okay, so now I'm going to just start to glue down. I know I'm trimming this much off the top. I'm not worried about that. And again, if I wanted a little bit more, I think I wanted a little bit more narrow. So I'm gonna, okay, glue. Okay. Yesterday I had the worst time getting that video. I use it, a camera setting that I downloaded an app for, and then I use something called U-Cut because no matter what I do on this phone, it's always the wrong way. So I have to rotate it and get it going the right way, and I do it all in one thing. But yesterday, after I saved it all, because it comes in pieces, I pieced all three of them together, and then I rotated it and saved it again, and I went to load it to YouTube, but that option wasn't working yesterday. I don't know how many, and I tried it again, rotate it, see if it happened to do that. Oh, it took me forever yesterday to get that video uploaded. Maybe I'm out of practice from being gone for 16 days. But it gave me a hassle yesterday. Whew. There we go. Cover that. To think I was going to recycle that, and it was such a good piece of cardboard. And I necessarily don't even have to, it's got a bit of glue, but you could, if you wanted to, and I didn't do it because it was something I pulled out, I could have tea dyed that as well and put it in my thing, and then it would just, I wouldn't have to really worry about putting paper on the back. And I don't have to necessarily do that now. I could just ink it and leave it that way. There we go. Somewhere that corner where is it laying, so we'll just go along like that. Okay, perfect. Except for I wasn't supposed to put that down yet. That wasn't supposed to be my first piece, second piece to go down. But the nice thing about sometimes a glue stick, it's a little forgiving. I'm going to try to trim up some of that white off the bottom of that. Gotta raise this a little higher. Right along there. There we go. It's done in some nice greens, which is a color I don't use often. But I could easily, because of the colorings I chose with this, because it necessarily, when you're doing Christmas, you don't necessarily have to have like Christmas paper. You can take greens like this, and I could easily turn this into a Christmas one and have it for my Christmas stuff, which I may not decorate it anymore because I might stick it with my Christmas stuff for a future Christmas project and leave it the way it is. Sometimes this is what I do with my tags. I cover them and I leave them like this, and depending on what I'm using it with and the type of pictures I might be using, I sometimes do that. It just all depends on what you want to do. So I'm not going to, I'm debating if I'm going to, I'm sitting here hungry and I was thinking, what am I going to eat for dinner? And I remembered I made a delicious soup last night and I made sure I made a big pot of it so I could have leftovers. Yum, yum, yum. Love leftovers. Okay, put that scrap there. And there we go. And now I am going to put its a blob of glue there. And then I just usually I don't fold it. Some people have the corners, they can judge it. I can't. I always get really wonky. But there we go. And again, so it's got a nice tag. I'm not covering the back right now because you all know how to do that. So there we go. And I'm putting that actually in with my Christmas ones. It's actually, I'll show you, I have a pile of Christmas, except for one thing here. Two things. But see, it's got all my Christmas stuff sitting here to work on. Well, not that one. I don't know why that's in there. But it's all my Christmas stuff that I'm working on. So I just keep it there. So now that tag, I won't put it there yet so that we can look at the end of what we all did. Little Christmas flips. I think this was supposed to be Christmas, but she's so pink. She's going to go in a pink junk journal and in one of these pockets. So I'm going to put her in there. See? And it's just a piece of paper I folded over. I made a little journal, flip journal spot. And it can also just, if you want it to, it can be just, I can hook it just over like that too. Okay, so I'm going to put her in there. Just, sorry, got distracted by that. Since I seen it sitting there. Oh, there's more Christmas. So I'm not going to put that in Christmas right now till the end. But I keep that because that's Christmas stuff I'm working on. I got it. What I'm doing is got it from junk because I've been away. Willow House Journals, Leslie, she started something called Merry Mondays, and I loved the idea because I find I get too close to Christmas and I haven't done enough. So Mondays is working on my Christmas stuff to build it up for selling later in September, and that way I'm not racing at the end of the thing. So my Mondays are dedicated to Merry Monday and working on Christmas. I didn't do that yesterday because coming home on Saturday, getting the house caught up and unpacked on Sunday, I wasn't prepared to do Merry Monday, and I wanted to introduce the event. So, okay, so there's some more scraps, of course. That always happens, right? Let me put that over there, out of the way. Well, let's just finish up this side. So again, let's cover this. Let's pull out. See that? I moved those papers and couldn't find them. I need a bigger desk for my filming. But I don't have the space to put something bigger, so I have to make do. Let's go ahead. Maybe do a book page one. I'm just making it a simple book page one. That's it. Always, because you can add, I could do some collaging. That's why I'm going to leave the white, because I'll show you. There we go. So I'm going to just cover this. Even if I didn't want to, and I wanted to maybe use this, I could have cut the thank you off and used it just in a cluster. But I like, since it's already a nice piece of cardstock, it's perfect for making a journal. Now that I mentioned that soup, all I can think about is that soup. Also, it's not a hard soup to make. I had frozen meatballs, Italian frozen meatballs in the freezer. pulled those out and put them in the oven for a few minutes to brown them up, thaw them out, cook them a little. I had sausage tortellinis in the fridge. I had celery and carrots. I had beef broth. I thought I had 2 beef broths, but I didn't, so I had to put a beef and a chicken. Last time I just did chicken. Next time I'm going back to the chicken because I prefer it over the beef broth. That's just me. Even though it's beef I'm putting in there, I still prefer the chicken broth. And so then I cut my carrots up and my celery all up, threw it in the beef broth, let it boil a bit because carrots take a while. And then did all that while my meatballs were cooking. And at the same time, I got my hot pot water thing and boiled my tortellinis because they only take 6 to 8 minutes. Did that, threw them in the strainer, rinsed the water off, put them aside for a second, checked on the carrots. They still needed a few more minutes. So then I washed up the pot. Then I pulled out the meatballs, threw them in the soup so that they could add some more flavor to it. And then I threw the tortellinis in it, and that was dinner. A meatball tortellini soup. So for something like this, if you want to add a little more color to it, that's where, and sometimes you'll find you get a thin strip. I don't know if I have one handy anywhere. I usually keep a lot of thin strips. But of course not handy enough. Let's see what's in here. It's a scrap box that is not supposed to be doing it. I'm doing it again. They're supposed to go in the other places. But see, if this was a colored piece of paper, it looks really nice up the side. Of course, it's not. Just to add some color to it. Just seeing what's in this scrap box. If I have something perfect for it. You could even just put a corner piece like this. You can, if you want to throw in some graph paper. This is where I never used to keep the skinny pieces, but then I started realizing they work perfectly in adding just a little color to something. And of course, I don't have any handy. I'm going to save that because I think I'm going to end up using that in a collage since it's there. I'm going to probably use that in, I got a beautiful color doily in there. Shouldn't be in my scraps. Maybe in this one I have a thinly colored one. Oh. This chair is too tall for me and I slide out of it. So if every once in a while you go, it's because I'm trying to get my butt up into the chair. Get my big booty into it. To kind of jump back into it. Oh. I think I'm going to do that. And I'm going to just fold it over, see if that's how much I want to do with it. Yep, there we go. Nice, simple. So let's take my little thummy thumb. Because I tore it with one of my nice rulers, it's got a nice little edge to add a little more decorative to it. Now, let's tear this off. Oops. That wasn't a really good tear. Probably should have used my scissors. Oh boy. Let's see which one. Yeah, I think I'll go that way. So put some. There we go. That. Should be gluing this on something. I worry about getting the edge and then I miss that. But it's an easy fix. Trim this off. There we go. And sometimes I don't throw these out, but I don't have anything handy that I'll use it for because I use it in master boards, which I'm going to do. Oh, where did it go? I dropped it. I'll find it later stuck to something. I really dropped it somewhere. It'll show up in a few minutes. Oh well. I use those to make scrappy hearts, the little pieces. Kind of do like a masterboard thing and then punch out hearts, cut out hearts in it. So I'm just going to go ahead, edge this all up. I'm hoping I'm in. I didn't, because I can't see my phone, I couldn't tell if I'm in. What I need to do is draw a line. Stay in this area. Okay. Just wondering if I'll put something on that side, but I'm not going to. Now, even with these, if you like had even a cluster, you can put on those. We're going to do that more in that event. Different things we can use clusters on. Okay. So now an image for that. Sometimes even in my scraps, you'll get a nice image too that you can fussy cut around too as well. So sometimes I do look through my scraps for fussy cut images that I can use up. Just for say, I have a few clusters here. Any of the clusters I could use? Too small. That cluster might look good there. I think this one is too small. Oh, but it looks pretty there. But it needs to go on a bigger one. That doesn't look bad there. I think I'll use that cluster. And that's a nice simple. I keep a filter and it's got some clusters in it close by, so. And there we go. I like that. Just glue that down. Need to clean my board because it's got. Oh, did you see what I almost did? Not thinking. Maybe because I'm so hungry, my brain isn't working. No, that's not it. My brain, it's a crazy brain sometimes. Okay. Ooh, this turned out. I love this one. Now, when I do these, a lot of times I staple. I love staples on my clusters. Not something I started out with, but if you don't like this sticking up, you could put a dab of glue in it and put it down if you want. But it kind of gives it a like a 3D effect as well, which adds a bit more to it. And that's plain and simple. And on this one, I'm going to just corner round the top one and do a corner round tag. And I don't have anything handy. I didn't think to grab any lace, but I'm not going to put a hole. I'm going to, if I had a piece of lace really handy, but I don't. Why don't I? Normally I have tons of lace sitting on my desk, but today, because I didn't think about it. Oh, here, there's a bucket right here. wide. Oh, look at that. That's too small. See, and then I even have pieces where if you want to, you could add, we'll leave that out because we might add that to something. How about a piece of this at the top? No, too wide. I either have too narrow or too wide, but I think this one might be just perfect, but not that long. I think right about there. This is another thing. I don't know. I actually enjoy this more than punching a hole than I do anything. It's just stapling it on. I don't know why, but I do. And the nice thing about that is if I need, because it's a wide tag, I can spread it apart a bit. And there we go. There's a tag done. And again, it's perfect for one of these pockets. If I wanted to put it in one of those pockets. See, these pockets are even stapled. That's what they did. They're supposed to be fast and easy pockets, and then you fill them. So there we go. There's this tag done. We'll put that over here. We're going to go back because I want to complete this one. And I'm just thinking that I might put that lace along there, or should I put it at the bottom? I think it looks better along the picture. Exactly. Or under it. Maybe under it. Perfect. I wanted to add a little something to that. And necessarily, you could bring it all the way down. But I'm going to use it like an edger. And I'm going to pull it out as far as I can. Perfect. My glue is here. I forgot to put the lid on this. Do I have a pin? Don't have a pin, so we might have to do this. It's almost empty, but I'm trying to use up some of my glue, so let's take that off. So I'm going to get a bit of a sticky finger in a second. I'll even take the lid because I want the edge to be glued down a lot, but I don't want, that's a lot of glue clump there, but that's okay. I'll get glue on my fingers and then just go down it. And I'm just going to put a little glue on the flowers. I got very gluey fingers. Wipe them on my pants. Well, to be truthful, my pajamas. I love pajamas. I have like lounge pajamas. I don't care. I'm home. I want to be comfortable. This is supposed to dry clear, so let's... I need to invest in a different type of glue bottle. Okay, perfect. So we'll do that. Let's glue her. Let's glue her on there. And I don't have my sentiments handy. Well, I do, but I'm not going to worry about it. I could easily put a nice sentiment on this as well. There we go. There we go. Let's just see. Put the lid on the glue. Move the glue out of the way. I'm also, after I'm done, I'm going to put a little bit of glossy accents on her just to add a little pop to her. I mean, I could even put a number. Might look nice too. Like a sentiment is going to be the best. Okay, go to my sentiments. So far that's the one I like. Slide that back in there. Or do I just want to use a big, oh, what about these? Anything good in these fat ones might be interesting. Pull that paper back out. You are doing great. Be brave. Nothing that more. Prove them wrong. Nobody is perfect. Shine like the stars. Nope, I like the longer one. That answered my question. I should have just put one down before looking through them all to see if I liked the long. Go with my first instinct. Close that up. Let's ink this up a little. I'm not going to be putting the tag on because I'm going to put the glossy accents on the tab, because I don't have a tab ready, but I want a paper tab and I didn't bring those with me. Every day has wonder. Okay. There we go. And again, if I wanted to add a little more to it, I could easily pull out a little bling as well. Oh, I actually like that. There we go. We're going to leave that on there. Look at that. Okay, and then we're going to put my lid on my glue stick. I'm going to take my glossy accents. I'm loving this stuff, and I'm going to put it on other than oops, wouldn't come out, then it came out too fast. That's okay, fingers are great for this. Just putting it on the flowers. Just to make them stand out, and let that dry, and there we go. And then I'll try to find a nice pink ribbon or sar. If I had some nice sar, I have one that I was thinking might be very pretty on it, but it's such a perfect one to tie around a journal. But see, I think this would be so pretty on the top of it. I need to find, if anybody knows, I'm assuming this is sari silk. I'm not sure what this is. I got it as a gift. I think it was wrapped around a package I got. But I love this stuff, but I've never found it here. But I might go ahead and use some of it if I can get it to come apart here. Because how I think I'm going to do it is I'm going to tie a ribbon nope. But sometimes what I do with this, I'm just going to cut some off. Okay. Is I'll knot it in the middle of it like this, fluff it back up like that, and I'm going to, you could staple it, but I think I'm going to put a little glue on there, and you just decide which way. I like it that way. Let's put a little glue on there. I was going to do it the other way. Too late. I'll play with that. Make sure that's centered and up a bit more. There we go. And there we go. There's that tag done. So that turned out really nice. There we go. Let's do one more before we call it quits. Let's take this. Because that's bottom is a little scribbled up. Same with this top. Now, what we could do with this as well is if we just, on average, you know, I look at a journal, you could make a longer tag out of it, or you could fold it in half and make 2 tags. Is what, for now, I'm going to, so I do not know what that came out of, but I saved it. There we go. I still have to trim the top. But I'm not sure I cut that so straight at the bottom. Looks a bit better. Oh, I forgot to put that lace away. Put that over there. Let's grab a piece of paper. And I'm doing this one pretty quickly. I should do a few quickly. So I'm going to need that out. The way I'm doing this one, I don't think it's still straight enough, but what I'll do later is I can, once the glue, I can take my chopper and chop it neater if it bothers me too much. Sometimes this is what I like these collage digitals for, because they're great for covering tags up really quickly and very simply in seconds. That look at that, done so quickly. There we go. Before I put on the other paper, I'm just gonna go ahead and make my tag form. I'm going to take this. Oh, this is double-sided. I shouldn't have been using that. double-sided. Ooh, bad girl. Never waste double-sided paper because it cost me twice the ink. Oh, let's do this. Let's do a lined one. So again, I'm just gonna, I just grabbed that out of my scrap box. I must have used it for something and just used a piece of it. So we'll get it. Don't let it go to waste. We'll use it. Could use a ruler if you want it to. Sometimes it's, because it's not a really hard one to cut. We're good. Sometimes I find, like right now, that glue is still wet, so I'm going to let that dry before I finish trimming it, because I find that works better with this. And like this tag, personally, to me, all it needs is a little something, maybe a little butterfly down here or a word, and it's, to me, it'll be just fine. And I'm thinking, do I have a little butterfly close by without having to dig out all my digitals? And I don't. You know what? I have these things I keep saying I got to use more often. I got some beautiful little stickers in here. Let's see if there's something in these that we could use. Oh, the clock. That could work. Oh, maybe this one. Ooh. So, I mean, you may not have digital, fussy, like digitals that you can fussy cut out and use, but there's these different types of stickers you can find. I got these in my stocking. Not this Christmas, last Christmas. Even the little cherub might look cute on there. Oh, I like her. I like them both, but I think I like the cherub just because. So you use what you have. If you have fussy cuts, lately when I was doing my videos, I felt a little guilty because I use a lot of fussy cuts, and I use a lot of digitals, and I know a lot of people don't have printers, but you know what? I like them. I love using digitals, and I understand some people don't want to invest in a printer, in an ink program, and that's fine. But I personally invested in that first because I like digitals. And I apologize if I use a lot of digitals, but I'm not going to stop using them. But I do try to find ways to also show how you can. I love digitals, guys. I'm sorry, I really do. I have to behave myself on Etsy. I can get crazy with digitals in there, and because I love fussy cutting, then I go crazy with fussy cutting digitals. What I'm doing is, because sometimes I don't like all the white on a sticker, so I'm just trimming some of the white off because I don't want. I want less white. I'm not cutting it right up against her because that would take a long time to do, but I'm just trimming up some of the white off of around, which is not easy to do. I had to put my glasses down because the color is so faint. That is part of the problem too. And I don't want to chop her little legs or toes off, because she's too sweet to do that too. There we go. Here comes always the fun part for me with these stickers, is trying to peel them. I can never. When I'm not on camera, they peel really easy. But when I'm on camera for some reason, because I'm trying to hurry, and so of course it's not going to cooperate. Okay, I'm not going to fuss with her for right now, but she's going to go on there, and that's how I'm leaving her. other than eventually I'll put lace on her. I don't, big scissors. Big scissors are easier to trim with than the small ones. Except for, I kind of do want to get her, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim this. Give my fingers a second and go in and try one more time. And I really want to make more tags with you, but we've been on here for a while. I'm not fast at these. I could sit and craft online on video forever, but nobody wants to sit for hours and watch one video, maybe 2 or 3 videos, because I can binge watch videos, which I'm going to be doing to catch up onto a few of them that I missed over while I was away. Yes, I could watch them on my phone, but I was spending a lot of time with my family, so she does not want to let me peel her, so she might be stuck on just like that, because I'm not fighting with her anymore. Let me try one more time, because it's really... Come on. There, did it. Had to get a little rough. Oh. Why I don't like stickers. Because they're unforgiving if you make a mistake, which I just did. Well, these stickers. I don't find dollar store stickers the same, but these ones stick, man. So her little wing is going to get a little chop. There we go. So there we go. This isn't completed, so there are some more tags. If I had just covered them and I didn't bother decorating some of them, we probably would have got more done. But as you can see by this video, you can see, is that all we did? Oh no, we got one more. So here we used lace, some sari silk things, different pearls, some glossy accents, and a digital. Here we used just, I used some digital, but then a book that I bought. This is a digital with a sticker. And then here we go with some book page, a bit of digital, and it would look just fine with all page as well. Because even here, as you see, it's still, there's no wording here. I could have gone in with maybe a little stamp and put some stamp on it. And I got to fix that a little bit too. But there we go. We only made 4 tags in that whole time. But thank God I had this, because this it just turned out beautifully. So there we go. So just a few tags we did today. But every little bit we do, it adds to our collection or to your project that you're working on. So take an hour and do some tags. Now I might sit here and do some more tags after I eat, and just finish covering. This was my goal I set for myself. I pulled out, let me show you. So these are the ones I did up to here. And then I pulled these out of the tags that I had sitting in my tag box. Oh, that one's done. Technically ready to use, but I don't like them. Well, this one is done. And these are the ones I'm going to cover. Some of these, what I did is I might even fussy cut around this and put it on another tag. I did that, I think, in one of these. Let me see if it was in one of these. And I'll show you what I mean. See, just music pages. It's not decorated because I leave it that way depending on a journal. And I will have all my music tags set aside, all my book tags set aside. Here's what I talked about. A book page with a little bit. I did some script and a little piece of colored. Right, so this, maybe I don't have it in here. These are scrapbook paper up here. This was a part of a tag, and I wanted a little bit more texture. It was plain white, so I fussy cut around the tag, put some digital down, and then glued it on there. So you can do that as well, with which I'm going to do with that rose. But that's what I'm working on right now today. The rest of my day for Tag Tuesday is after I eat, I'm going to sit and take and try to cover 10 of these for today for Tag Tuesday. That's my goal, so that I can, I'll show you my box. Some of you might not have seen it. I'm working on fixing my storage box up. These are things that are ready to go. This is still got tags in it that I got to fix, but for instance, you'll see in here, I have, these are all, not that one, music. They're ready to be used. So eventually, once I get all of those done, then I'm going to rearrange this whole thing into sections. And I'll finish the byproduct when I get everything done. It's a big project. It's what I'm working on for Tag Tuesday. So, and now this type will sit in, I'll label it collage tags. Not this one, because to me it's a finished one, other than I have to put some lace on it. And this one's going in my Christmas to finish. But that can go in my collaged. And then what I might do in the ones that are finished, I might put like shabby chic. I have ones that are stamped images. You know, I'll put them according to that, most likely. Oh, that's got to dry still. Oh, it's almost dry. So that's it for today. So pull out some, you can do what I've done. Take some of your, I might go ahead and cut these all up into tags. This is going to be used for a journal card, and cut them up into tags, because I want these used. I don't want to put them back in that box, and I'm going to put that in my ones to cover. So that's what I'm going to do with this. This would even be good if I trimmed it, and it could be a large journal card. So these might turn into journal cards. That might be my goal for that as well. So that's my goal, is to cover all these as well as those by the end of February. Well, I'm going to say hopefully by next week. In between, I might cover some of them. So I'm going to work hard this afternoon and covering a lot of them up. Take about a couple hours while I sit here and binge watch some TV shows that I got behind in, and just cover them up. Because tonight I've got to work on some journal. I have a journal that I have to finish for a lady. So tonight will be strictly that. All right. Well, again, I'm going to say thank you for joining me. I'll have everything. Please, if you haven't subscribed, I would love you to subscribe. Please, what really helps me is if you like and comment the videos. Then they come up on YouTube higher. People see them more often, and it helps me as a creator. As well, if you haven't subscribed, love to subscribe. I've given myself a challenge by the end of February to have 500 subscribers. I've done so well, and I thank you all for that have subscribed. If you have any comments, I love suggestions, any ideas, comment it below. If you see a tag that maybe I could have done something different. Criticism, I'm not bothered by. I mean, we're all learning. Even me, who's been doing it for a few years, I'm learning. I'm teaching, I'm learning. That's a part of everyday life. If there's something you would like to see a video on, let me know. I'm open for ideas. And please join me in my Let's Cluster event. And what I would love is when you watch a video, I'm going to use the hashtag Let's Cluster, and join in with us. And if you would like to join that event, and you're not a part of Junk Journal Craft and Chat, I will have a link below as well to my site where I do sell. I don't have much right now because being away, I didn't put anything new up. So I'm going to try to refill that over the month of February. As well, and that's called Purple Heart Creations by Chrissy, the same as the YouTube channel name, and that is in Facebook. I'll have a link, and I'll have a link to my Instagram and my Kufu. It's got a few things I have for sale up in there as well as you can buy me a coffee or support my project to get a sewing machine so I can add something new to my tags. All right, everybody, have a wonderful afternoon. Love you all. Bye for now. I can't reach my... There we go.